Bonjour à tous, vous êtes sur The Likez et pour cette nouvelle vidéo, je reçois une invitée encore exceptionnelle. Si je vous dis Man of Steel, 300, Sucker Punch, Justice League, Wonder Woman et le tout dernier film de Zack Snyder qui sort ce vendredi sur Netflix, Army of the Dead. Il s'agit bien entendu de Samantha Win, actrice, cascadeuse, artiste martiale. Elle m'a fait le plaisir d'être mon invitée en exclusivité sur The Likez. Elle nous raconte sans filtre quand elle a commencé en tant que cascadeuse pour devenir une actrice confirmée et sa participation à tous les plus gros blockbusters de ces dernières années. Et encore une fois, je me suis entouré de super youtubeurs avec Léa Blabla et Dirty Tommy qui m'ont fait le plaisir d'être avec moi pour lui poser des questions tout au long de cette vidéo. Et si vous voulez, mais j'imagine que oui, toujours plus d'exclusivité sur The Likez, c'est bien, abonnez-vous à la chaîne, soutenez la chaîne, n'oubliez pas d'activer la petite cloche, mettez un petit pouce bleu, écrivez-moi des commentaires, vous savez que j'aime vous lire et bien entendu, je réponds à tous vos commentaires. Encore merci à tous et je vous souhaite de passer un excellent moment sur The Likez. Hey, Samantha.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm great. Everything's fine. I'm happy. I'm thrilled to see you finally. We did it.
Yeah,
Like we said we'll do.
I know. My vaccinations kept getting in the way of a couple of interviews, but fully vaccinated.
Most important
now.
thing, you are safe now. And I hope you get through this pandemic with us. Like we
Oh,
all use.
thank you.
I know it's pretty busy right now for you. Like I heard about a little movie coming up on Netflix around May 21, more or less. No, it's amazing. Something huge, something big. The new Zack Snyder movie, Army of the Dead. You must be beyond excited about it, right?
Oh gosh, I'm so excited. The weirdest thing for me is how much information I keep getting from fans before I even hear myself. Like, there was a new poster that came out today, but I didn't know until people started tagging me in it. And I didn't even know it existed.
There's a lot of detective out there, you know.
Yeah, Zach has some pretty dedicated, loyal, amazing fans. So they are on top of it.
Samantha, for the audience who are watching us, I would like to introduce you just a little bit. You're an actress, you're a stunt, a martial artist, which is something I love because I used to do Kung Fu Wushu myself for 10 years when I was young. So now, yeah, it's a family thing, I must say.
What? Oh my gosh, that's so, we have so much to talk about now.
Yeah, I'm sure we did. But now I'm more in boxing. That's my thing. But I used to do a lot of Kung Fu. Yeah. So, like I said, you've been in a lot of movie, a big movie like Man of Steel, a Sucker Punch, 300, Justice League, Wonder Woman, and recently Unwelcome, a short movie. It was amazing. I saw it. It was just amazing. I just loved it. And also, you did Mortal Kombat Legacy, like it was your very first time as an actress.
It was.
Right? You were playing Kitana, and it was great because at the same time, you will be able to show your martial arts skills. And how it was to play such an iconic character such earlier in your career?
I mean, no pressure, right? It was a dream come true, quite literally for me, because I used to play Mortal Kombat as a kid with my brothers. And so I was very familiar with the franchise and with the character. And when the opportunity came up, I knew that because she was so iconic already, that any performance would be heavily scrutinized. And so it just added, for myself, I put so much extra pressure on myself because I wanted to make people proud. And I wanted them to have the experience that they were hoping for when they set out on watching.
You killed it. I must say you killed it. And it seems like you're part of every Zack's movies, even his short movie Snow, Steam, Iron with the leading role. And in Zack's movie, strong women are important. They always have a special place. And what is the story with the Snyders? Deborah and Zack, everything they produce, it seems like it fits for you, right?
Yeah, I've been extremely lucky that I have fit into their world so well, it seems. But the story there is that they're just two amazing people who have a very pure vision for what they want to give to the world and how they want to influence the world. And they know that pop culture and films are a big part of shaping the way that people see each other and our circumstances. And so they're just doing everything that they can while making people smile to do their part and lead us towards the good. And I've been lucky enough to be on that journey with them. But I have to say, there is one other actor, Richard Citrone, who has literally been in every single one of Zack Snyder's live action movies. If you think I've been in a lot, you guys should check out Richard as well. He is.
Oh, I'm gonna do it, but because sometimes you do the stunts for a movie, and also you have a part in it, so it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I started out as a stunt double, and on Sucker Punch was my first film with the Snyders, and I was a stunt double for the character Rocket, played by Jenna Malone. But since then, I mean, I did toy commercials and things when I was a kid, and I've always studied acting and wanted to be more a part of that world. And so I was just continuing studying and training on my own. And once the Snyders kind of caught wind of that, they started to give me opportunities to perform for them as an actress. And so it's just been the slow evolution of getting bigger opportunities every time, it seems. And I don't know many other directors that have done that for their stunt performers. There have definitely been a few. I mean, Quentin Tarantino is probably the most known for it with Zoe Bell. But yeah, it's just been a slow evolution of shifting, and they've been so supportive of my new career choice, and I'm so grateful.
Right now, I'm gonna let enter my co-host. One is a girl. She's also an actress, actually. Yeah, and she's a YouTuber. Her name is Leah, and we're gonna let her in right now, just right now. Bim.
Hi guys.
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
So nice to meet you too.
So the second co-host is Dirty Tommy. I have a big YouTube channel. He did a lot of review. He's a Zack Snyder fan, I must say. So that's why he's here tonight. So I'm gonna let her in right now.
Hello.
Salut Tommy.
Salut, salut Donali.
What's the story behind your name?
I'm gonna do the translation for Tommy because he loves just the character Dirty Tommy, the movie. He's just a fan.
No, Dirty Harry.
Dirty Harry, of course. Yeah,
from
his channel Dirty Tommy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with Leah.
Yeah, if you want, yeah. So it's so nice to meet you. I hope you're doing great in California. I had a question which is quite basic, but sometimes the answers are fun. So do you have a good memory of the last movie which is going to come out? Do you have a fun memory, something secret, something fun, something weird?
Ooh. I mean, there are so many amazing memories on that one. But I have to say, I've seen the film, and this part of it has been condensed down quite a bit. But the experience while filming it was the most fun for me. And that is this kind of fantasy sequence. It's a heist film. So, of course, there's a sequence that plays out how the plan is supposed to go. And so that part is my favorite of the whole thing. And that is, you see bits of it in the trailer. There's like a 360 shot where we're all shooting back to back, and it's all hyper glorified, and that was the most fun to film. There were zombies everywhere, people everywhere, and it was like an iconic superhero moment of what could go extremely well, but I guess we'll find out.
Tommy's going to ask the question in French, and I will do the translation. Yeah.
C'est gentil, merci beaucoup. Donc, ouais, je voulais lui demander si elle pouvait nous parler un petit peu de son personnage dans le film. Quelles sont ses origines, quel est son nom, et qu'est-ce qu'elle fait, et pourquoi elle est là, en fait.
Okay. Can you tell us without, I know you're not allowed to say much about the movie right now, but can you tell us without any spoilers a little bit about your character, Chambers, in the movie, maybe who is she, her background, her story, origins, maybe a little bit?
Mm-hmm. What I can say is that Chambers is the ride or die buddy of the character Guzman. So we've kind of come from the street together, and we're our own thing that are recruited into the team at a later point. Our characters are a little less polished, and I'm proud to say that not only is my character a strong woman with strong ideals, but I think she's very modern, and I think a lot of women who are struggling with feminist issues today will relate to her and have a strong connection to her.
It makes me think about, the character in Alien 2, you know, with the bandana around yeah, just like badass as she was, you know, back in the 80s. Actually, the movie was directed by James Cameron, you know.
Mhm. Oh,
So that's what I thought. Yeah. Zach has some similarities with James Cameron. Like, he's a visionary. He's a completely, and every frame is iconic. You know, that's insane. And just a little bit, your part in as an Amazon in Justice League was just amazing. Yeah, it was just like, it was just like watching 300, but the female version in such badass, such iconic. It was like, I was just like thrilled about it.
we actually had the same trainer, Mark Twight, who trained all of the men on 300. He came on and he trained all of the women for the Amazonian sequences. So, I mean, I died, but it was amazing.
Yeah, we can feel it. Léa, tu veux poser ta deuxième question?
Ouais. Except all the movies you already made and all the directors you already worked with, what is your dream job? The kind of movie, the kind of parts, the kind of director you dream to work with?
I guess I'll answer because you said excluding who I've already worked with, because Zach in many ways is exactly the kind of director that I work with. So I'm super lucky that I get to work with him. But I've worked with Chris Nolan in a sense that he was a producer on a lot of Zach's films, but I've never gotten to meet him or work on any of the films that he's personally directed. And I hear wonderful things about him from who he is. And so that would be a dream come true. I think for many actors, Chris Nolan's films are so beautiful, and they're just architected in such a perfect way that it would be so fun to be a part of telling his stories. David Fincher would be another. I just think his scenes have so much within them. It would be a playground for an actor. So that would be another one. Quentin Tarantino, who would not want to, especially after Kill Bill. I feel like Kill Bill, because I saw it at such a young age, shaped who I became now. I was so inspired by being Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. He's just created such iconic films that people still talk about decades later. So that would be another experience. I could go on and on, but that is top view.
That's nice. Tommy, tu veux poser ta deuxième question?
Oui. Alors, si elle pouvait nous dire, Samantha, en quoi Army of the Dead apporte quelque chose de nouveau au genre de film de zombies? Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose de neuf qu'on n'ait pas déjà vu, par exemple, comme dans The Walking Dead ou même dans Dawn of the Dead, qui est le premier film de Zack Snyder? Est-ce qu'il y a quelque chose de nouveau? Est-ce que ça renouvelle le genre, en fait? Voilà.
Do you think that this movie bring Army of the Dead something new in the zombie genre? You know, because nowadays we used to have a lot of zombie movie series like Walking Dead. What makes the difference between Army of the Dead and let's say Dawn of the Dead from Zack Snyder? Yeah.
I think there are many, but I think the main difference that people will notice is that it is also very much a heist film. So it is an action heist thriller in addition to it's set in a zombie backdrop. So it's a different kind of action film set in a zombie world. But also there's so much comedy to it and so much heart to it. So instead of it being a global scale World War Z kind of movie, it's still a small zombie film that is an action heist thriller. It's got so many different kinds of genres and so many different strings that it hits that I think will resonate with different people. So I think that most definitely sets it apart from its predecessors. But as well, the cast. I think we have such a global cast, and it was amazing while we were on set how there were many people struggling with dialect. They had dialect coaches because there were so many different kinds of accents. And it was amazing because we realized we have Japanese actors, Indian actress, French actress, British actress, Canadian. My accent is so hard. But there were so many different people from different parts of the world. And it was just a different take on everything. I think it's inevitable that different people from different parts of the world will bring out different parts of characters. And so I think it will feel really unique, and it will feel like a modern zombie film because of that, because the world that we live in today is very mixed. we have the internet, and so the world became a lot smaller, and we deal with and see and communicate with so many cultures every day now. It's representative in the film.
Yeah, it's having you. That's the same. We live in an open world, and that's why it's just so great. I know that there's a prequel they shot in Germany.
Yes.
You're part of it? Maybe you can tell us.
I'm not a part of that film, so I actually don't know the story. I will walk in just as excited and unbeknownst as you guys.
I'm gonna investigate because Zach told it was just amazing with the Germans team. It was just amazing. I can't wait to see that.
I can imagine, because Matthias is a brilliant actor and he's hilarious. So I imagine that his film is going to knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
Vu que Samantha a joué beaucoup de rôles, comme tu disais, John Ali, au début, de femmes badass, que ce soit dans la Justice League, que ce soit en tant que doublure dans Sucker Punch, et là, évidemment, dans Army of the Dead, est-ce que dans sa future carrière d'actrice, est-ce que Samantha se voit jouer des rôles de femmes moins badass et plus, par exemple, plus sensibles, peut-être, je sais pas.
That's an interesting question. He said, you've been a part of a lot of movie where you play such a badass character, strong woman, Do you see yourself in the future maybe play something like more sensitive, like more an emotional, not badass, not martial artist, just like
I would absolutely love that. I think a big part of it is, of course, when you're getting your foot in the door, you end up getting cast into your strengths. And so because I had such a heavy martial arts background, this is the casting that makes sense. But I think with the more of these projects I do, the more open the world is becoming to me being able to pick and choose parts that I want to explore at that moment in life. So I'm very much at that point. Snow Steam Iron was the first where I did just get to be that, but it still turned into a badass. But in the beginning, it was the first time I got to really live out that kind of world. I guess even in my short film, Unwelcome, it starts out one way, but then it still kind of becomes, for a moment, she becomes a badass. I think people might have expected me to take the other role, the Tessa's character. She was the stronger of the women at that point in her life. And so, yes, I would love to take on more vulnerable roles, and I do plan to in my future. Once I have more available to me that I think I'd really like to sink my teeth into, then yes, it's definitely in the cards. If not, I'm gonna continue making my own.
That was the how many say that? The twist in the Unwelcome movie, because when the movie starts and you're such a character, like we can feel like you're sensitive, like innocent. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then you turn into something, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. I just loved it. And yeah, so I can definitely see you play more in this part, like a sensitive woman or like more innocent. But I must say I love the badass thing. Yeah, that's my thing too.
Yeah. It feels much less natural for me because in my real life, I do cry sometimes. Person. And I make homemade candles, and I sew. I do all of these really non-cool, non-badass things. So it feels much more natural for me to be able to be myself. When I'm acting cool and I have my bandana and all the weapons, like I am not like that at all. It's very flattering that people can see me like that.
So I would like to know about your background, Kung Fu Wushu. That we did in common. We have in common this thing.
I want to know about yours. Yeah.
Yeah. My Shifu was my uncle, actually.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, for 10 years, because my dad used to. My background, my origins are I'm half Vietnamese and half Arabic, and my dad used to teach me when I was very young at home. With the nunchaku, and we like back, and we have like marks everywhere because this is the whole school way. Yeah. And after that, his younger brother, my uncle, was a teacher, and I did kung fu for 10 years, competition and everything. It was nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I love, I was into, in the 90s, Marc Dacascos. Every martial artist was like my Brandon Lee, the late Brandon Lee. How did you were into the Kung Fu world? It is a family thing or maybe not at all?
Kind of. When I was 4, my mom is a black belt in jiu-jitsu. And so she wanted all of my brothers and myself to take jiu-jitsu and take martial arts as soon as we were old enough. And then once we got our junior black belts, we would be allowed to quit or take up something else that we loved more, whatever we chose. And so my brothers pursued other things, but I loved martial arts so much, I wanted to stick with it. But jiu-jitsu, I was getting to an age, I was doing commercials and things where, it was starting to, I'd come home with big bruises or like marks because it's a little bit rougher. And so my dad thought, you're half Chinese. Why don't you try a Chinese martial arts? And so I was like, well, this is perfect. If I want to act and it's a performance martial arts, this is perfect. And so that was my beginning of wushu, was actually for my acting career. I've wanted it for a long time. So even as my 10, 11-year-old self, I was like, that's a smart decision. That would lead me on a good path. But at that time, Jet Li was my action idol.
Oh, yeah, of course, Jet Li. Yeah.
His films were really big at the time. And he specifically came from Chinese Kung Fu Wushu. And so he was the face of the martial art. He was in all the films I was seeing. He moves so lightning fast, and he's amazing at what he does. So why wouldn't I think that? But it was a very neat full circle moment, because when I competed at the 2007 World Wushu Championships, I medaled for one of my events, and Jet Li was there presenting the medals.
That's so
amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it was in China or in Canada?
In China, yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So that was the biggest full circle moment, and that's what qualified me for the Olympic tournament after too. So it was a very exciting time in life. I got to meet my idol, and I definitely get obsessive about things. So even though I started martial arts for my acting career, I became obsessive with it, and I didn't stop until I felt like I got as far as I could.
You remind me a little bit of young Michelle Yeoh, she was
what a compliment.
No, yeah, that's true. Definitely, I remember all of her movie when I was young with Jackie Chan. Of course, Jackie Chan is Bruce Lee. Of course, Bruce Lee, but Bruce Lee is above everything. He's from another world, and yeah, I must say my background, my culture brings me a lot of things in my life. Actually, yeah. So
I agree.
What is your next project? Maybe you're already on something new. I'm sure you have. You cooking something right now.
Yeah, it's funny how it works. There might be 5 things cooking. So there's about 5 things cooking, and I don't know which one it's going to be quite yet. But something very exciting. So I'm Army of the Dead has been an amazing opportunity for me, and it's been granting me new opportunities. And so I can't say for sure quite yet. Even if I could say, I couldn't really say quite yet.
No.
I'm definitely going to be continuing working, and you will see me in something exciting shortly. I'm thinking, but yeah.
One last question about, in last March, we had Zack Snyder's Justice League. Watch, just an amazing movie. It's just so big. It was like I had Patrick Tatopoulos on the show. He's such an amazing talent, great guy. How it was for you actually back in 2017 when the movie was released, the Just Whedon cut. I guess it was devastating a little bit for you. How it was. If you can talk about it.
Yeah. I think enough people have spoken pretty clearly on it now, so there's nothing really off limits. But of course, it was devastating. I think anyone who has worked on Zack's films prior and who had worked on Justice League knew his vision for it and how excited he was about it and how much he really cared about each character. And so when that wasn't the vision that was brought to the public, and when the characters were completely changed, when their backstories were completely changed, it's kind of like, years of your life and your heart. It's kind of like investing in a relationship, and then getting betrayed. But we had a cast and crew screening still, which was strange. So after the cast and crew screening, Zach wasn't there, but a lot of his department heads and people that we see a lot on all of his films. And instead of everyone feeling excited for him like we usually do, it was a very somber mood, because we saw the movie and we knew that was just not at all what he intended, and we care about him. And it was a weird feeling. So, and then a lot of, it's never been done before, this kind of re-release of a film. So I don't think that we had a lot of hope per se, because it had never been done before. Usually after it's released in theaters, it is what it is. Maybe you'll get an extended cut or something. We just didn't have a lot of hope for it correcting itself, which made this movement all that much more sweet, because it was unexpected and it was truly the power of the people and his fans standing up for him. It felt like not even just the movie, but for Zach, I feel like it was very much a part of let him have his vision, let people see his vision and his work. So it touched everybody. We were devastated, and now we are so touched. I have like such love in my heart for anyone who's ever used the hashtag. I keep thinking restore the Snyderverse right now, because that's the current one.
I saw it, and we did it too. Restore the Snyderverse. I would love to see an Amazon, movie, like a spin-off about the Amazon. That would be great. I hope to see that one day.
I imagine the training is terrifying.
I can imagine the training.
But worth it.
Vous avez une autre question?
Bah écoute, Jonali, moi du coup je vais peut-être reposer la question que j'avais, puisque vu que on sait que Zack Snyder travaille énormément en fait avec sa femme, donc Deborah Snyder, qui est en fait sa productrice. Est-ce que alors je sais pas si elle pourra savoir, mais est-ce que elle intervient dans le processus créatif, par exemple de Zack Snyder? Est-ce qu'elle intervient ou pas souvent, ou est-ce que des fois même elle peut donner des conseils aux acteurs, aux actrices? Ou alors est-ce qu'on la voit jamais? Voilà, c'est la question que je voulais savoir.
Yeah. Tommy would like to know about, Deborah Snyder. She's an amazing human being, an amazing producer. And is she there at every step of the process, maybe on set, and she's with you, she's talking with you, she's in creative process, she can advise you maybe? I guess she have a big role, but can you tell us a little bit about your work with Deborah?
Yes, I'm so happy you asked me, because most people ask me about Zach, but Debbie has been an equal force in everything, and so I'm so glad I finally get to talk about her. She is always on set, so yes, I see her quite a bit. When it comes to her interacting with me about the creative decisions, I feel like it's a little above my head, so I'm not necessarily a part of those conversations. But for instance, on Army of the Dead, she came over and got to check out my whole wardrobe and everything first, and she is very much part of the creative decisions, pointing out what she likes and doesn't like. And she is there every step of the way. I think everyone knows and respects that Debbie is also the boss. It's not like Zach and Debbie is his wife. It is Zach and Debbie, and those are the heads, most respected on set. They have they're like the parents of the set, and we're all a big family. And it's very much what it feels like. But also on a personal level, Debbie has helped me so much, so immensely when it comes to guidance for things like when I was looking for an agent, or when I first kind of it came out that I was trying to transition into acting. She has always been so supportive and always doing whatever she could and setting me up with meetings and things, which is so incredibly generous. I feel like to have that kind of mentorship and that kind of support behind you is very rare. And it is why I am where I am. I very much am here because of both of the Snyders. Debbie is an amazing woman. She is for women, she is for equality, she's for diversity, she is for positive energy and good people on set. And so that's why I feel lucky to continually work with them, because they are good people, but they also hire good people. And so when you're working, it is laughs and good energy and supportive people. There's not kind of drama that you might see on other sets when, you know, it only really takes one bad apple. But I feel like Debbie is so good at spotting and handling things as they come up to where you can have a good time and it's a good life experience. It's not just work, it's a good life experience.
Yeah, we can feel how much they are like they are nice. We can feel they are so like simple, you know, simple person, you know, you can talk to. And I hope you will continue to do so to work with them because you just knock it up in every project they do. So thank you. Tommy et Léa, je vais vous laisser lui dire au revoir. Tommy and Léa is gonna say goodbye to you, and then I'm gonna ask you my final question before I will let you go. Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank you, Samantha.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you very much.
It was so nice to meet you.
It was so nice to meet you guys too. I can feel the love coming out of your group, and
Thank you.
you're all wonderful people. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
And
Bye.
keep being as nice, as badass as you are.
Thank you.
Je vous laisse dans la room et après je vous reprends au pire. Ok.
Ça marche.
Ça marche.
Ça marche. Yeah, they are amazing people too. Tommy and Léa are amazing, and they have some. You should check out their YouTube channel. Oh, it's in French, but maybe you can.
I can get bits and pieces. I'm Canadian, so I speak very terrible French, very partially, and so I try to understand what I can, but I would not butcher your language by speaking it out.
I have family in Montreal, Quebec. You know. Yeah, I've been there like a couple times. You know, I've been there like 4 times, and I shot like a 5 music video there in Montreal.
Gosh, that's
It was
amazing.
amazing. Yeah.
Did you notice your accent starting to change a bit? I hear. I mean, I'm not trained enough to be able to hear the differences but I hear that, or I have heard through friends that there's quite a difference in the Montreal accent versus.
Big difference. It is hilarious when you talk in French and when you talk in French Canadian. We are always like fighting each other. This is hilarious, and especially with your family, you know. It's great. Samantha, thank you so much. What can I say? I'm sure this movie will be big. I'm just convinced about it. This is a Zack Snyder movie. Come on, I'm sure it will be amazing. It will be like nothing we saw before because Zack is such a visionary, like I said before. And I hope we will stay in touch, of course.
Yes.
And we're gonna follow your career. And thank you again. And stay safe and stay the same. You're so nice. You're beautiful. You're wonderful. So stay the same. And thank you so much.
So much.
Thank
And
you so much, Samantha.
same to you, and thank you for having me. I will come on your show anytime. I just had a wonderful time with you guys. I'm all about good people, and you and your team all feel like good people. So I would be honored to be back.
Thank you. We are honored. Bye-bye, Samantha, and stay safe and be blessed. Okay.
Same to you. Bye.
Bye-bye.